What's up, Gary? My name is Aaron Martinez, and I hope you like the hat. But my question for you is, I have a YouTube channel that has grown from 0 to 88,000 subscribers in a little bit under 10 months. Now, on the channel, I upload Snapchat tips and tricks, but I tried to do a little bit of other things in the earlier stages of my channel, but they didn't really work out. Going into the future of my channel, maybe passing 100,000 subscribers, what do you think I should do? Primarily stick to Snapchat, or try to do different things, and if so, what? Thanks, guys, over at VaynerMedia. Hope you guys have a nice day.
Aaron, I think, and I'll let these guys jump in because I'm sure they have a lot to add to this. I mean, unlike the first question. Aaron, I think a couple things that struck me with that question. Number one, this magical number of like 100,000 followers, or your first 1,000 or 1,000,000. I'm telling you, and I'm telling this because I have a lot of heart for the youngsters sitting with me right now. These are the wrong metrics to reverse engineer against. More importantly, what I would need, if you were here, what I would need to know, and we were just talking for a second as D-Rock broke the sound, is, what do you want to happen? So, I think one of the biggest mistakes by so many Snapchat and YouTube influencers right now is they want to become Hollywood famous because they grew up where that was the pinnacle. And to me, I keep trying to remind them, my early days with Jerome and Rudy and Brittany Furlan and that whole space with the Vine influencers that were definitely the spark that you've watched the Instagram and Snapchat thing, very different than the generation of YouTube that I grew up with, is guys, in 2022 and 2024, the most famous person is not the person that's on a TV show on MTV, it's the person that dominates this, which is the new television. Just like being a cable star wasn't interesting in the early 80s, but then eventually, if you're the #1 star on an HBO show, which, to remind everybody, you guys are too young for this, HBO was shit. HBO was a shit place to go in 1982, 1984, 1986. You were a B, C list, D list, F list. Nobody wanted to be a Netflix star 48 months ago. Nobody. Now everybody wants to in Hollywood. So first and foremost, Aaron, I think that you need to decide what you want to happen. Do you want to get your art into the world? Is it about money? Is it about fame? And I think you need to own your vanity because way too many people try to bullshit it, number one. Number two, you got to go where the attention is. To me, enormous emphasis on Snapchat and YouTube, and now look, 1-minute Instagram videos probably opens up a lot of creativity for a lot of people here, and definitely people that are watching, so that becomes a new thing. And look, Musical.ly, actually this is a question from you real quick. Are any of the three of you playing on Musical.ly?
Yeah, downloaded it after hearing you talk about it a couple times.
Have you had the time yet to spend to look at what's going on there?
A little bit.
Yeah, and so this is what's so interesting, right? A lot of my YouTube celebrity friends, when Vine came along, we're like, and I'm like, you came from YouTube. That's what was just being said 5 minutes ago. Now, then when Snapchat came, I was telling a lot of Viners, I'm like, this thing, I'm telling you, and they're like, and then of course now everybody's there, and now even Musical.ly, right? Like Snapchat, it's at its apex, but ironically, I think the Snapchatters, and I'm giving you advice right now, that go and really go all in on Musical.ly are gonna win those junior high people, are gonna be here in 36 months and be like, holy shit, that was a good idea, or it could go away. But much like what happened on Vine, and this is such a good learning from Vine, and we were talking about Vine off as D-Rock broke the sound, and the people that won on Vine have been able to siphon that attention and be successful on other platforms. Not everybody. Exactly, not everybody. Because some of them wouldn't have held on Vine either because they didn't have enough talent to be anything more than a few minutes, but some were. And that's no different than being a really good actor on a hit show on CBS for 2 seasons and then coming back 2 years later on ABC and siphoning some of that audience and building on that momentum. These are channels and doing the right thing. So Aaron, I think what you need to do is this, and I would say this for the 3 individuals here who I have a lot of heart for. 80% tripling down on what works. You guys can fucking draw. You're funny and intriguing. All that stuff.
Draw.
Can't draw. I cannot draw as well.
Can't draw.
But you want to learn.
Maybe someday.
Never.
Never.
Correct. So 80% of that and 20% experimenting. That's what you should be doing, Aaron, from my point of view. Gang?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Nobody cares about subscribers, nobody cares about followers, it's all about influence. If you can actually create a sustainable amount of influence or like something that you can actually push to other platforms, that's something people care about. Numbers is not something people are going to care about in the future. 100,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers, if nobody's consistently watching your videos, nobody cares.
I agree with that. I mean, look, brands care now because they're not sophisticated in their language, right?
They won't 3 years from now, though.
Well, it depends, right? Like, so the answer is, look, results should and always do matter at the end. There's a lot of things that can be, a metric can be accepted by a marketplace like Nielsen ratings that doesn't map to a result, yet the entire $80 billion advertising industry, most of it doesn't quantify against actual results. They quantify against metrics. I'm with you. And by the way, all my behavior maps to your rant.
Right.
So that's what I'm living. But no question.
Metrics in general are broken. The whole industry's broken on metrics.
Yeah, I mean, the metric that should matter is how many did you sell of whatever that is. And when I mean sell, it's like, look, I want you to donate to my nonprofit. Like that's a result. Or you did a show and how many people showed up to it to like watch you paint for an hour, India. And so I think that's the case. Aaron, any thoughts on Aaron's questions?
It's funny, we all actually know Aaron.
Yes.
And
You hate him.
no, he's great. He's
awesome.
he does
He's like the nicest guy.
yeah,
And
he
he's
does
got
like
a great hat.
Snapchat tutorials
Yes.
and tips and
Yep.
on his
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
But absolutely, that's something that we need to expand upon because he's got to identify what it is that he wants to be, not just someone with 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Whatever he wants to turn this career into, and then play to that.
Yeah, Aaron, I think you've clearly got some chops, and I think the question becomes what do you at this young, and by the way, for all three of you, what do you at this young of an age want to happen? And then try to project who you think you are in the balance of vanity, money, happiness, work-life balance. These are a lot of things you have to project at a young age that, yeah, I mean, right. And by the way, everybody's got different percentages of it, 2 minutes, and that's that.